Now guys, can we just take a moment and appreciate what BYD has created for us here? This is possibly one of the sexiest looking EVs currently in the market. Unlike other EV cars which has the traditional, boxy and minimalistic exterior design, this car is the totally opposite of that. It has shapes, it has vents, it has spoiler which gives it a very aggressive and appealing look. And did you know that this car is currently the second best selling EV in Malaysia after the Proton E-Mas 7? Now the Proton E-Mas 7, it actually makes sense because it only has a starting price of 105,000 ringgit, but this car costs 180 to 200,000 ringgit, but still people are actually buying them, which makes me so curious. There's only one way to find out, that is to check this car out. Let's go. Alright guys, now just before we take this car for a drive, let me just give you a quick walk around tour of this car. Now when I first parked this car back home here, right, and when my parents first saw it, right, they were like, wow, this car is super big. And indeed, it's huge. This car is over 4.8 meters long, which is good, which means it gives this car a proper road presence. You can see the stance it has, right? Yeah, it looks really nice. From the front end, it looks super aggressive, especially in this white color paintwork with the gloss black roof, with the smoked out headlights. And speaking about the headlights, just take a look at the headlights, guys. Don't you think this is one of the most aggressive headlights you've ever seen? The way you can see it's tilted this way, it's so slim, it's so sharp, it's like a knife which cuts towards the middle. And then you also have the iconic U daytime running light inside. Yeah, it looks like a very fierce eyes, right? And then here also you have the daytime running light, which the way it comes down and cuts into the bodywork. Yeah, the headlights itself, it really looks so cool, right? And then come towards the bottom, you have vents on both sides, air curtain which feeds air for aerodynamics. You also have air which goes inside here to cool the battery. Yeah, the front end is just so menacing. As you head towards the side, now this car have two different variants. You got a premium, which is a rear-wheel drive, and you also have this, the performance, which is the all-wheel drive version. So the all-wheel drive actually comes with 20-inch wheels as opposed to 19s. So you can see you got this really nice design. It's massive, and one thing I like about it, right, if you look inside, it comes with cross-drill brakes, which means it helps better with ventilation, which dissipates heats better, nicely complemented with the brake color calipers. And I like how also it doesn't come with a cheap tire. It comes with Michelin Pilot Sport EV tires, specifically made for EV cars. Yeah, and it's Michelin. Yeah, really good quality tires. And you head towards the side, just take a look at the sheer size of this car, guys. This car is absolutely massive, and despite this car being an SUV, it also looks very sporty because of this swooping roofline which cuts down like that. Okay, you can see you got a coupe style finish. Yeah, take a look at that. And then you also have this spoiler which protrudes out like that. If you look from on top, you can see there's actually a hole there where air actually enters, so to give this back end here a little bit of downforce. Yeah, just take a look at this part here. I like these rear haunches. You can see the way it extends out, give you a very muscular look. And this part here is finished in gloss black just to break up apart the top and the bottom. Yes, those little attention to details, right, which makes this car really, really unique. Okay, and as we head towards the back, just take a look at the tail lights of this car, guys. It extends from one end all the way towards the other end, which accentuates the width. Just take a look at the size of this car at the back. It gives you the stance. It's at the squat position, you can see, right? Okay, and then if you look at this, right, if you go closer, you can see we have this really unique design. So this one is what they call the water droplets, because this car is inspired based on the ocean. Yeah, so this looks really nice. Okay, when you go up close to it. All right, and then you got the BYD badging. It's also very nice because it's flat. You can see if you touch on it, it's actually flat. And then you can see it says 4.5 seconds. They are so proud of this car because despite this car being so massive and so heavy, right, this car can go 0 to 100 in just 4.5 seconds, which I'll try later. All right, really, really powerful. And then this car also, it's an all-wheel drive. And then the bottom here, you also have a bit of a black element just to give it a little bit more aggression to mimic the diffuser. All right, let's just take a look at the boot space. Press this button, it pops open the power tailgate elegantly. Now, one thing I noticed, right, is that when you open and close the boot, right, there's no noise. You know, a lot of cars, when you open and close the boot, it's very loud. Let me just show you one more time. When I close it, yeah, it's so quiet. All right, let me just open it up one more time, give it a press. Yeah, it gives you this very premium feel. And once open up, it reveals a good amount of boot space here. You can see if you're not enough, you can actually fold the seats down if you want to. And then underneath here, let me just open this up. So here, let me see what you have. You have extra storage space underneath. So this one, because this car, it's a coupe style, right? So it actually sacrifices a bit of height space here, because when it close, it actually close like that. So, but it's actually not bad in terms of the space. It's okay for a road trip, for a large family. It's not too bad as well. All right, let me just close back the boot. Let's take a look at the light one more time before we check out the interior. Yeah, the front end looks so aggressive. The back end is equally aggressive. Now, let's check out the interior. To enter the car, you can either use the key. So this is the key to the BYD Sealion 7. You can press unlock, or you can just walk towards it. So it's currently now in the flushed position. So just give it a press and it pops open. All right, wait, let me press one more time. Yeah, it pops open. It shows BYD, really nice. So you open up, you are immediately greeted by a really luxurious interior. Yeah, just take a look. There's a lot of organic shapes supposed to mimic the waves of the ocean. Like for example, you just take a look at the door cut here, right? Take a look at the amount of shapes that are actually going on. You can see the way it actually curves this way. This one actually goes inside, and it's all finished in really nice material. It's all soft touch leather materials here. And you got the door handles here, which are kind of unusual. So you can unlock from here, all right? And then you can take a look at the seats as well. The seats looks really sporty, but it's actually very comfortable. It hugs you well, all right? And then you have holes here. Yeah, it's very unique. Even you can see, right? You can see these are the perforations. So it has a diamond quilting. But if you look at the stitching, it's actually finished in light blue color, because again, this car is to get inspired by the ocean. Yeah, really nice. There are a lot of little attention to details on this car. But just before we check out the cockpit, let me just show you the back seats first. So let's just open this up. At the back, you have a lot of space, lots of leg room, lots of headroom as well, despite this car being a Supreme roofline. Okay, just like from the front, you also have a lot of organic shapes here. All right, because it's an EV, you got a flat floor, so the person sitting in the middle is very comfortable as well. You have air vents there. Yeah, the seats are very nice and soft. It's well reclined as well, so for a longer distance journey, it's nice and comfortable. Even this one, right, if you open this up, right, everything feels very premium. You press this button, the way it actually retracts, right, it feels really high quality. Even this one, if you open up, you can see inside, even though you rarely use this, but you can see it's carpeted, really nice. The quality on this car, it's really on point. Alright, so I'm currently inside the cockpit of the BYD Sealion 7. Don't you think this car just looks so premium from the inside? Alright, so here you have the instrumental cluster, fully digital as well. Okay, on the left side, you have these buttons here. Speaking of the steering wheel, let's check out the steering wheel first. You can see it has these very organic shapes. Alright, if you press this button, it actually moves around. It shows you the TPMS. Alright, it shows you your useful info as well in terms of the charging. And then if you press this button, it actually shows you the 360 camera, which is really clear. Okay, you just press on it, you can see, all right, you got this 360 view. You can show, yeah, it's really high definition. All right, and then if you come towards here, so these are for your media, and here's to control there. Now, if you look at it now, right, it's kind of reflective because this car is essentially brand new. So they only used it for road show. So you see, it's only 12,000 kilometers. Even the protective film on this car, they haven't even removed it. Same goes for this as well. That's why sometimes you see it's a bit reflective, but if you remove it, it's not that reflective anymore. Okay, yeah, remember I mentioned this part here. You can see the shape, it's really unique. All right. And then here on the screen itself, so you have this massive screen here. Now, one thing iconic to the BYDs, which is you can press this button, which tilts the screen from landscape to portrait. So now you can see it shows you 3 instead of 2. Yeah, really unique. Okay, let me just switch it back because I prefer landscape mode. And then here, you have very nice quality materials here. So this is for your phone, to charge your phone. So you can see there's actually an air vent here which cools your phone while it's charging, because wireless charging often heat up your phone. So you know, this one actually cools your phone. If not, you can just use this. You just push it down and it cools it immediately. So which is a very strategically placed area. Here you can put your phone as well. And let's just take a look at this, the gear selector. Even the gear selector is finished in this crystal structure, which looks very nice, the finishing on it. And then these are all finished in plano black. And the buttons you press, right, everything just feels very, you know, very high quality. Even the scroll wheel, right, feels very tactile. And here you have 2 cup holders. But what's really unique on this, right, if let's say you have a really tall water bottle, right, if you put it here, it actually affects you controlling the gear selector. So what they've actually done is you can push all the way in, so it goes all the way inside. So you can, once you put your water bottle, it doesn't protrude out so much, all right? So if you want to push it back up, you just press this button and it goes up elegantly. Even the sound of it, right, when you push it up, right, it sounds so premium, see ah? Yeah, so nice. The materials also open up. Here you have a lot of space to put things inside. So this one, you also have a bridge, which you can put more stuff underneath. You have a charging port there as well, right? And then on the dashboard, you got this double-decker style dashboard. So this one actually has an ambient lighting, but now it's not dark enough. If not, here you can see a lot of lights, which is really nice. Yeah, I can see the way it actually goes towards the door card seamlessly, the way it actually flows, just like the ocean waves. Yeah, really nice. You got the ambient lighting there. Okay, even this, right, on top here, right, watch this when I press on it, right, just a gentle press, it actually opens up the panoramic sunroof, which gives you a very airy feel inside this cabin here. All right, yeah, it's really nice. This one you don't actually have to press, you just have to touch. This is actually touch sensitive. You just touch gently and it already closes, just like for the lights as well. You just touch. Yeah, it's really high quality. Even for this, right, the sun visor, right, all right, watch this flap here, you just open up, you let go, and then the light comes on. And this one is magnetic, so you can see this magnetic claps. Yeah, it's those little to attention to detail. I know I keep mentioning it, but yeah, there are just all these things that makes this car really, you know, worth it. Okay, so yeah, this car just feels really nice. The build quality, right, the materials on this really surprised me. See, if I shake, it doesn't move one bit, and all these are finished in really nice leather materials. Yeah, they didn't cut costs when it comes to the interior build quality and materials used. Yeah, it feels really nice inside here. So now, let's go out for a drive. Alright guys, you're now joining me behind the wheel of the BYD Sealion 7. Now, I've already driven this car for 1 week, and guess what? I'm actually having difficulties finding what I don't like about this car after spending 1 week with this car, because everything about it is just, you know, perfect. Number one, the looks. The looks of this car, right? When I first brought back, a lot of people, right, even strangers came up to me and said, wow, this car looked like a Porsche from the front, which makes sense. And some even thought it gave them the Lamborghini Urus vibes, which is crazy, alright? I wasn't expecting that at all. But for me, right, after spending some time with it, right, from the front, right, it actually reminds me of one car. That is the Ferrari Puro Sangue. I'm not sure about you guys, but if you look at the headlights, right, and the way you have this very front low slunk hood, right, it actually gives you a bit of those vibes, which is nice. This car looks good from the front, from the side, and from the back. Every angle on this car is just beautiful. The second thing would be its interior build quality and also the materials used. It's literally next level. Everything you see, right, you wouldn't expect for a car like this to have all these really premium leather materials. You got this, you know, all soft touch leather materials around. You have Napa leather steering wheel, and I like how everything is designed so organic. You know, the ships are so curvy, which is supposed to mimic the ocean waves, because at the end of the day, this car is inspired by the ocean. So yeah, the way you have this that wraps around you through the dashboard, it flows as a single piece, and every button you touch and press just feels so premium. Especially, you know, when you open the boot, like I mentioned, you did the mechanism, right, you don't really get to hear much noise. Even cars nowadays, the really expensive cars, right, you open the boot, you get a really loud mechanical noise. For this, you don't get to hear it at all, which is really nice. And yes, everything on this car just feels very solid. My time of driving it, right, I didn't even hear a single rattling noise. That shows the quality they have inside this car. Alright, now when it comes to driving, right, it's actually really nice to drive, and also the steering wheel is really light. So let's say if you want to maneuver, you don't need to use much effort. It's really easy to just turn. Alright, and I'm also surprised that the turning radius on this car, right, despite it being such a huge car, right, you can actually do, like, let's say a full U-turn at a very narrow two-way street easily. You don't have to reverse, you can just do it in one go. And of course, what's nice about this car is definitely the power of this car. So this car is the performance variant, which is top of the range variant. This car uses a 82.5 kilowatt hour battery, which produces 523 horsepower and 690 newton meters of torque, guys. That's a lot. 0 to 100 in this car just takes 4.5 seconds despite its size. They're so proud of it, they even put it at the back of the car. So let's say if you're to tailgate this car, right, when they look at the car 4.5 seconds, they'll be afraid a little bit. But yeah, it's crazy. It uses a dual motor, one powering the front axle, one powering the rear axle, making it all-wheel drive. So in terms of traction, this car also, it puts down power on the road really well. As for the range on this car, so the premium one has around 480 plus kilometers, if not mistaken. For this car, it's around 450. Alright, so because this car has more power, right, so the range is lower, but it's not too bad. So this car, when I first collected it, it says 100%, right, it gives you 510. So I think the real world would be around 450 kilometers. And if I'm not mistaken, right, this is the only BYD currently that supports 11 kilowatt hour AC charging. The rest are all 7 kilowatt, which is nice, meaning that you can charge much faster. So let's say if you want to charge to full using AC charging, it takes around 7 to 8 hours. If let's say you want to use DC charging, so this one supports 150 kilowatt hour DC charging, so it takes around half an hour, which is not too bad as well. This car also has all the safety features you need, like literally you name it, this car actually has it. But one thing I really appreciate about this car, right, is that because on the A pillar here, you have this camera that constantly monitors your eye. So let's say if you look away, you are being distracted, it actually alerts you on the instrumental cluster telling you that please focus on your driving, please focus on the road. But guess what? It's actually not as intrusive as other cars. You know, some cars, right, it actually beeps really loud, that can be really annoying because you have to turn it off. But this car, you don't have to turn it off. The way it beeps, right, it's not that loud, but it's just enough for you to actually, oh, there's a notification telling me to look in front. Yeah, but it's not annoying at all, so you don't have to switch it off. Alright, and also all the settings, right, everything, if let's say you set to sport mode now, you switch off the car, you turn back on, it's back to sport mode again. You don't have to manually press everything again, which is really nice. As for the ride comfort and ride handling of this car, I wouldn't say it's the most comfortable car, EV car yet, because obviously this car uses 20-inch rims, right? So it uses a very low profile tires. This car, when you're traveling around 120, right, yes, you get to hear some wind noise, but it's not as loud as other electric cars out there. I think that's because due to this car has the acoustic double layer windscreen and also the front two windows, which actually soften the noise, the wind noise from outside. Okay, ready? Let's do some quick acceleration. Ready? 1, 2, let's go! Whoa, the way it pushes you back! Let's do it one more time. Press. The way it just picks up speed, right? It's incredible. I still can't get my head around, right, how this car is so heavy, so huge, right? People would think like it's just a normal SUV, but when you accelerate and when they see you just fly off, right, they'll be like, wow, this car can do that. So yeah, huge thanks to BYD Malaysia for allowing me to drive a car like this, because you know, sometimes you just review it, right, you wouldn't know how is it like living with it. After spending time with it, you know the things you like and you don't like. But guess what, the things I dislike about this car is really little. Alright, so yeah, to those who actually own this car, I understand why you actually get this car, because it's really such a nice car to drive, to be in for a long distance journey, or if not for sporty driving as well, you can. Yeah, what a car, what a car. So if you guys enjoyed, please remember to like, subscribe and share your friends, and I shall catch you guys next time. Ciao.